What's up, guys? Holding Alice with you here, bringing you Black Clover anime review. This is episode 69, titled The Bearer Maidens Malakarth. This was a very good, episode. It was, some of it was canon and some of it was not. It's, how can I put it? Like, I guess you could say most of the episode was non-canon, I guess you can say, but it starts with the continuation of Asta bumping into that pretty girl and trying to think who she is. And then he catches on that it's the Blue Rose captain, Charlotte Rose Lee. And she's there, and the guy is like this rich man from a royal family, a sub-royal family, I guess you could say, had came down and asked her to, be his date for the night. And she ignored him. And he was like, "Oh, so you're ignoring me?" And he reaches out and he actually touches her. Instant he did that, she took out her sword and she wrapped him and his two bodyguards up in like these thorn barrels. And she just said to him, she's like, "Who do you think you touching?" And then she says who she is, that she's Charlotte Rosalie from the Rosalie family. And then she even tells him, "Do you think you're equal in wealth or even power to me?" And then she laughs and she throws him off. And some more goons come to pick them up and take them out. And she puts her sword away. And then we see Sol, her lieutenant. She comes up and she's like, "Oh, I have a good idea and a good dress for you to wear, sis." And all the guys are looking at her in awe. And we have this one funny moment where Asa was like, "Hey, don't I know you?" And he trips and he falls in her bosoms. Cause she's tall and Asa's short, so it's like his head is like right there in her chest level, so he falls right in. And at the same moment, Noel and Kaito and his sister, Kohana, are looking for Asta, and Kohana realizes what happened. And before Noel gets to see it, she covers her eyes and she turns Noel. She's like, "Oh, let's walk away. There's nothing over here for you to see. There's inappropriate stuff." And I'm like, there you go, best girl, Kohana. Best winger ever. So, Asta was safe in that situation. And unlike other animes where like the main females would be upset for you touching or falling on them, even though it is an accident and they know it, she didn't really care. She just picked up Asta. She's like, "Oh, I know you. You're the little runt from the Black Clover, from the Black Bulls." And Asta's like, "Who you calling a runt?" And she's like, "I'm calling you a runt." And then he says something else back to her. And she ends up just tossing him to the side, and his head falls in like a vase, and he's trying to get that off. Then she takes, her sister, the captain, who she likes to call her sis, she takes her to this tent to wear the new dress that she told her about earlier. And while that's going on, we get to switch over real quick to the Black Bulls to see what they're doing. And they just out in the festival feasting and stuff and talking. You have Goosh thinking about his sister. You have Finro thinking about chicks, and he gets tired of being around all these guys, and he left to find chicks. You have Gordon just sitting there mumbling. You have Magna and Luck talking about how cool this festival is and how awesome. Then Luck challenged Magna to a fight, and Magna's like, "Hell no, I want to enjoy the festival." Then it ends off with Vanessa, the last member. The last one that we see from there, because we see the other two females. We see Gordon and Gray, and we see Chummy, but they stuff in their face, so they don't really get no like dialogue time. And this is the only female who does. And she asks, "I wonder where's Yami at?" And you can tell she's drinking because she got like those blood cheeks, and she says she wants to drink with Yami. And what's funny is that we see her cat, and her cat has the same expression and the same cheeks as her. So it's like, wherever her mood is in and whatever condition her body is, it's like the cat, since the cat's part of her, the cat's also in the same condition. So it's funny seeing a cute magical cat made of strings also be drunk. So that was funny. But then we switch back over and we see Captain Rose, of the Blue Rose. We see her in her new dress. It's a beautiful blue dress, but unlike her other one, which had a shawl and her chest was like covered, this one is like more open. And they discussing it, and all the guys are like, "Ooh, ah." Then both of them, Charlotte herself and Sol, turned around with red eyes and took out their weapons and was like, "Anyone who laws after the captain that's not part of the Blue Rose is going to be hurt, and like all the guys freaked out and calmed down and walked away slowly. And then Finrod gets there, and he's also in awe as well. And Asta finally gets the race off his head. And Charlotte was decided, this is embarrassing. I need to hurry up and get to the announcement of the Star Festival, because that's when they're about to give out the stars who get what for the year. And while she's contemplating about leaving because she needs to go over there, because all the captain has to be there, Yami ends up showing up. And she gets freaked out because, as we all know, she likes Yami. Even though she pretends not to. She's a tsundere, just like Noelle. And she's also Vortice, just like Noelle. So it's funny to see a grown-up Noelle. And technically a grown-up Asta, because that's what Yami is. So it's kind of funny seeing their interactions. But while that's going on, Vanessa finally meets up to Yami, and she sees Rose there. Her name's not Rose, she sees Charlotte, but I'm going to say Rose because she's the captain of the Blue Rose. But she sees the captain there, Charlotte, and we have, as you see in the thumbnail, we have this both of them looking at each other in awe and astonished. And Rose's thought was, who is this woman? She might be part of the Black Bulls. And when it comes to Vanessa's, I thought of her. She was like, who is this woman? Why does she look like she knows Captain Yami? So they just both thinking about each other and stuff, and it goes from them having like that stare off to them like actually competing, because Vanessa felt like she was gonna take Captain Yami away, so she's like, I challenge you. And of course she didn't, she was gonna not accept the challenge, and she's like, I don't have time for this. But then her Lieutenant Soul was like, of course, no matter what you challenge her in, Captain's gonna win. And she was like, what? And everyone around there just cheering them on and stuff. And basically they had a cosplay contest, and it was hilarious because Charlotte, she cosplayed as a sexy witch, which is funny because that's technically how Vanessa always dresses. But her colors were black. She was all in black. And Vanessa, hers was even weirder because she was dressed as a nun, a sister. And all the guys were flipping out for both of them. And Finrod, of course, was the judge of all this, being an instigator at the same time. And everybody voted. And when he counted up the votes, because they voted by sending their magic power to these heart gems with their names tagged to it, and they both got a tie. So it was a draw. And then Vanessa got the idea because next door there was a bar giving out drinks and stuff. She was like, okay, now I challenge you to that, because Yami likes women who can hold their liquor, and Yami technically admits it. And she was, Charlotte was gonna say no again because she really has to go to the Festival of the Stars, the inner log, because all the captain has to be there. It's mandatory. But again, her Lieutenant Soul was like, yeah, she accepts. She can beat you in drinking easily. And it's funny because she makes this off face again, Charlotte, because she can't drink. She's not really a good drinker. So they drink, and Vanessa, after the first sip, she just falls. She was already drunk beforehand. Then Charlotte was like, if I can finish this cup in the next one, I can win. And when she sips, we found out she can't hold her liquor like we thought, because she just starts going in daze and all. And as she's in that daze of being drunken, we get to find her backstory. And she was placed a curse on her when she was a little girl that once she becomes 18, which is an adult, that her body will start to spread all the veins off, her plant veins, and her magic will go out of control and devour the whole family of Rosalie. Now, we don't know why this witch that placed this curse on her, why she did it, or who the witch was, but we found out that was her curse. And she was trying to become strong on her own, to be more powerful than curse, so she could subdue it and take it over. But when she became 18, she wasn't strong enough still. And everyone ended up getting engulfed. Funny thing is, it ended up destroying a noodle shop, I believe it was, near her house, and Yami was there by coincidence eating noodles, and it messed up his dinner. So he went into the house and he started cutting everything up, all the trees and vines and stuff, until he bumped into the cocoon that she was stuck in, that is making all these vines. And he cut that open and he saw her, and they start to talk, and he was like, I know you're strong, but you have strong people too around you. You should, be more open and, you know, if you need help, ask for it. It wasn't his words. I'm just paraphrasing what he said. But after telling her that and stuff, she was like, she basically started to fall in love with him right there. And that was actually what she needed to happen to her for the curse to break, is to fall in love. So as her falling in love with Yami, thanks to this moment, the curse broke, and she started to like him more. So then we switch back to the future, and her stopped thinking, and Yami took away her cup. And he says the same thing again. Didn't I tell you before, if you needed help, just ask somebody? So he ended up drinking from her cup, finishing her drink. And she started smiling. She's like, indirect kiss. And then she fell face down and hit her head on the table. And Finral again was like, oh, another draw, people. But everybody was still happy because they get to see these two beautiful girls battle it out. So it's like they ain't really care who wins or lost because they still win in the end, technically. So it was hilarious. And then the episode ends with a crowd of people just passing by Asa saying, we have to hurry up to the central side of the city because the Star Festival's main event is going to start when they give out the stars to see, the order of what the rankings of all the captains, because all of the captains, their people are going to get ranked depending on how many stars they collected. And if you remember, the stars are collected by doing achievements and accomplishing missions. So, and it's funny because they also stated that we're going to get to see the new captain of the Crimson Lions, Crimson Frangolians, in a coma. So we're going to see the captain who replaces him. Excuse me. We're going to see the captain that replaces Frangolian. And at the same time, we're also going to see the new captains of the Blue Orcs. Because if you remember, the Blue Orc, that captain got imprisoned for treason and stuff. Because he was doing dirk deals under the table. So, but that was the end of the episode. This was a very good episode. Like I said, it was mainly back and forth between filler and some canon stuff. Like the backstory part, that was actually canon. But I don't believe the tournament thing of them drinking and cosplaying, that's not canon, I believe. I don't think that was in the manga at all. The drinking part was. Them drinking, yeah, but I don't believe the cosplay plot part. That was just to add extra time, but it was still a good episode. It does have some progress to the story, and it does add in more stuff and information, so it's a very great episode. But for those who haven't watched it, I advise you to go watch it. Those who already watched it, go watch it again. Great episode. A lot of good gems in here. Especially in the next episode when we get to see the new two captains and we get to see the rankings and everyone's face seems shocked. So I have a pretty good feeling that the Black Bulls finally ranked high this time, and that's probably why everyone had those shocked faces, but we have to wait till the next episode to find out. But that's all I have for you guys. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I post the upload. Follow me on Twitter. Link will be down below. I'm active there a lot. So if you ever want to chit-chat or share whatever, anything, you can talk to me down there easily. I'll most likely reply because I'm more active on my Twitter. But that's all I have for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share with your family and friends. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.